Hi, welcome back to Journey into Stories. Today I'm going to be doing the Bookish Elements tag. It was created by Sarah at My Granny Era, and I was tagged by Just Book Girl TV. So thank you for tagging me in the Bookish Elements tag. I wrote down the questions so I would be able to ask them and then get my answer. Number 1, how do you feel about foreshadowing or dropping hints? I love guessing what is going to happen in any book. Sometimes I catch the clues, most of the time I don't, which is a surprising thing for me. I don't have a problem with dropping hints or foreshadowing in a book. Number 2, bookmarks. What do you use? How do you feel about bending corners? First of all, I never bend any corners in my books. It's just a thing that I've never done, even as a child. And bookmarks, I do have a few I love. I probably have too many, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, they're just right up there in a coffee cup. But my favorite bookmark is a picture of my son and daughter on either side in a bookmark slip that I bought way back when they were in elementary school. That's my favorite bookmark. And if I'm not using a specific bookmark, then I use anything near me, a piece of paper, the receipt from buying the book, or paper clip, or post notes, or just really anything just to save my spot. Sometimes the book jacket, which I very rarely read with it on because I don't want to mess up the book jacket. But if it is on, I've been known to use that as a bookmark. Just slip it in the page I'm reading. But I never fold the corners. Number 3, forgotten bookmarks. Have you ever found something strange in a book? I've never found anything weird as far as somebody using as a bookmark. But a book that I bought a long time ago at a book sale actually had a signature and a little note to the individual that they bought the book for, and they signed it. So that was neat to read, but that's the only thing I've ever seen in a book like that. Okay, number 4, inscriptions and annotations. How do you feel about writing in a book, and how do you annotate if you do? I don't annotate any books. I have watched videos of how people annotate books, and it does look really cool to me. Also, very time consuming. It probably would help me more to remember certain things, but I just don't do it. The only time I've ever written in books was when I was in college and I bought the book and had no plan to resell the book because it was a book I needed in my degree. Then I felt free to highlight, and I wrote notes in the margins of the book, or really anywhere I could write, and then I would use post-it notes or index cards to keep my place. But that's the only time I've ever written in a book. I think if people want to annotate or anything in their own books, I think that's great. Whatever works for people, I say do it. Number 5, introductions and footnotes. Do you read them or avoid them? What makes a good introduction? I read everything that's on the written page in a book, from the front cover to the thank yous from the author and the bio of the author. I read it all. I think a good introduction would always be something that grabs the reader's interest, and it doesn't have to be so spectacular that you just can't put the book down by just reading in the introduction. Sometimes it could just be something so weird like one word or a date or something, and then it makes me want to read and to figure out what that is significant of. So, but really anything that grabs an individual's attention. Number 6, accessories. Do you use bookish accessories like a clip-on reading light, book sleeve, annotation materials, bookstand, etc.? Well, first of all, I use my AirPods if I'm around the house and I'm listening to an audiobook. It makes me focus more than if my phone is just on speaker and I'm listening. So my AirPods, I do use a Bookish light, not very often, but I do have one. So if I ever want to read at night or whatever, I'm able to read that. I do own some book sleeves that I've purchased in the past, and I've used those if I'm traveling and want to take the book, or just want to stick a book in one of my bigger purses so I can read because I have appointments or whatever, then I will do that. I also have a book weight that if it's a newer book and it hasn't been never read before or anything, I like to put the book weight across the 2 pages just to hold the book on my lap on a pillow, so it's just easier for me. Or sometimes I'll just set my cell phone across the pages, although sometimes I get distracted with the cell phone, so I prefer my weighted bookmark. And probably the last thing that's useful and necessary are my readers. I cannot read without my readers. I can squint if I have to give a synopsis or whatever, so I don't give too much away if I don't remember when things actually happen in a book, and I never want to give anything away to an individual. But without my readers, I'm to the point now where I can't read without my readers. I can't diamond paint without my readers. I have readers all over the house. Yeah, I can't read or diamond paint without my readers. So readers is probably the most important. Number 7, art and illustration. How does cover art and illustration affect your reading experience? I've been known to just pick a book by its cover, literally. I may have never heard of the author that wrote the book. This is before I even know anything about the synopsis, if it's being talked a lot about in social media or amongst people I know. I sometimes and very often have just picked a book by the actual cover that appeals to me, and then I will either read the synopsis, or usually I just want to go into it blind. If it's a thriller and I like what the front jacket looks like, then I'll just go with it. If it's a romance, I'll go with it. If it's certain books like that, but the cover art usually can sell me pretty good. I'm influenced by it. Number 8, format. Which format of books do you prefer? Hardback, paperback, audio, or digital? I love to own hardbacks the most. I gravitate towards buying hardbacks. However, I enjoy reading the most a floppy, big paperback. Those are my favorite to read. Hardbacks can be cumbersome sometimes and heavy, and I like to just keep them on my lap with my weighted bookmark thing. So I enjoy collecting hardbacks. I love reading floppy paperbacks. Audio, I love as far as I'm trying to get through more books for my yearly goal, or get through certain books that I've tried to get through physically that I own. It hasn't worked for whatever reason. Sometimes switching it up to audio, if I'm able to get it, really works. Or if I'm in a slump with book reading, an audiobook will work. Very rarely do I read from my Kindle, which makes me sad. I always try and set a goal to read so many books from my Kindle. I love my Kindle, but I don't use it enough as far as all the other forms to read with. And it says, do you do different things for different situations? My audiobooks are easier as far as going out and about, or sometimes if I'm in the shower, I can turn it up loud enough to where I can hear it, or cleaning, and to where I can't hold a physical book. My audiobooks really work. If I'm driving, if I'm doing errands by myself, my audiobooks really come in handy. But I, for some reason, always prefer to read a physical book. I love to hold a book in my hands. It takes me back to being a kid. I just will always choose to read a physical book over anything. Okay, so that ends the Bookish Elements tag. And again, I want to thank Just Book Girl TV. Thank you so much. Sorry it took me a little bit to get to this tag. Check out her channel. She's wonderful. And until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Be kind with yourself. And I hope you're reading something amazing. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye. Have a great day.